One ancient writer earned two opposite titles. Cicero named him the father of history, a title he holds to this day. Critics, troubled by the fantastic stories he recorded, called him the father of lies. His name was Herodotus, and the word he chose for his project gave us the word history itself. Herodotus opened his work with a statement of purpose. He sets forth his historiae, so that human achievements may not fade with time, so that the great and marvelous deeds of both Greeks and barbarians, his term for the Persians, may not lose their glory, and especially to explain why the two peoples went to war. Notice the ambition, not just Greek glory, but Persian glory too. And beyond preservation, explanation, the question of why. That word, historie, meant something specific to a Greek. Inquiry, research. It derives from a root meaning to track things down. It described a process, finding out the truth, discovering what happened in the past, assembling those accounts together. Because Herodotus used this word for his project, it came to mean both the past itself and the study of the past. Before him, the word named an activity. After him, it named a discipline. History began as an act of hunting truth, not a shelf of settled facts. History existed before Herodotus in one limited form, the chronicle, facts set down in chronological order. In year 1, this happened. In year 2, that. Herodotus added three things. First, the amassing of human memory, not just official events, but what people remembered and said. Second, overarching themes that bind events together. Above all, the long conflict between East and West, which gives his work shape and meaning. Third, intellectual honesty, acknowledging biases, weighing evidence, telling readers where the information came from. These three additions are why he is credited as the creator of history as a field. The chronicle records, history inquires. His method looked nothing like a modern documentary historian's. He generally did not consult financial records or inscriptions to reconstruct, say, Athenian wartime spending. Often such documents simply weren't available to him, and the Greeks distrusted official inscribed pronouncements anyway, recognizing that they frequently carried governmental bias. They valued what Herodotus did instead. He traveled and he talked to people. From his native Halicarnassus, he ranged across the eastern Mediterranean, gathering testimony from priests, merchants, and veterans, the living memory of great events. When his informants disagreed, he did not pick a winner and bury the rest. He often presented 2 or 3 contradictory versions of the same event side by side. The Persians say this, the Phoenicians say that. Here is a third account. The reader sees the testimony, sees the disagreement, and watches the historian weigh it. That habit, laying out conflicting memories instead of smoothing them into one authoritative story, is the working heart of his method, and the reason Greeks trusted his inquiry. This brings us back to the father of lies. Yes, Herodotus recorded fantastic and patently false stories from his informants, but he was honest by his own standards. After one particularly strange tale, he remarked that this was simply what he had been told. He did not believe it himself, but his task was to set down what eyewitnesses reported, not to vouch for it. That distinction is strikingly modern. History as the gathering of many people's memories of great events recorded for posterity with the sources usually identified. He reports, he flags his doubts, and he lets the record stand. A liar hides his sources. Herodotus showed his. What inspired all this? The Greek and the Persian Wars, a conflict so epic that it seemed to Herodotus worthy of treatment on the scale of Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. Homer had immortalized Achilles, Hector, and Odysseus. Herodotus regarded the figures of his own near past as fit to stand beside them. Xerxes, the Persian king who marched an empire against Greece. Artemisia, the queen who commanded ships in his fleet. Themistocles, the Athenian who engineered the Greek victory at sea. Homer's heroes lived in myth. Herodotus's heroes lived in memory, and memory, he believed, deserved the same monument. His prose would do for them what epic verse did for Troy. So his story, inquiry, became history. Herodotus took the bare chronicle and gave it memory, theme, and honesty. He gathered testimony across the known world, presented contradictions openly, and refused to vouch for what he could not verify. Whether you call him father of history or father of lies, the discipline he invented is the one we still practice. Track down the accounts, weigh them, name your sources, and admit what you don't know. Every footnote in every history book is an inheritance from a Greek who simply went and asked.